You cannot discover a place that already has people living there. To the guy who said Africa was discovered by Europeans, let me teach you something. You don't discover a place where millions of people already lived, traded, built kingdoms, and developed complex systems long before Europeans touched African soil. When Vasco da Gama arrived in 1497, he didn't find wilderness. He found cities. He found the Swahili coast, Kilwa, Mombasa, Mapungubwe, civilizations trading with India and China centuries earlier. Only thing Europe discovered was its own greed. You didn't discover Africa. You invaded it. You renamed it. You redrew the borders. You enslaved and colonized. That doesn't sound like discovery. It sounds like theft. Why do we still believe this lie? Because history is taught from the perspective of the thief. Why your textbooks lie.
This issue of Burkina Faso and Captain Ibrahim Traore has suddenly become one of the biggest political issues in the world, trending regularly on social media. My own interview with our dear friend and guest Niko House on this very subject, literally on this exact subject, is one of our biggest, most viewed clips in all the history of the mother of all talk shows. It's in the millions. Millions of people have watched it on all platforms, including pirates by the dozen going out on TikTok, which is now a pretty regular thing. We're not always able to keep track of them in order to count them and claim the credit for them. But I can say that millions have watched what Niko House said and what I said about Captain Traore. It's even worse than you said, Amy. He didn't just accuse Captain Ibrahim of stealing Burkina Faso's gold. He accused him of stealing Burkina Faso's gold to pay for his own protection. Well, I wonder why he would need protection. Well, one of the obvious reasons is that both France and the United States are quite clearly committed to killing him. What is it about Captain Traore that they want to kill? Well, in addition to the great strides forward that you have adumbrated, this very week, the Burkina Faso government abolished all education fees. It is now free to go to nursery, primary, secondary, and university in Burkina Faso. What's not to love about that? Traore has nationalized the building of the country's roads when he discovered that the private French companies that were hitherto building the roads were charging up to 100 times more for the building of those roads than the government of Burkina Faso itself can do. And so he's brought it in-house. There's now a public works department in Burkina Faso, in Ouagadougou, which will henceforth pave and lay roads across the whole country.
You see, Traore has become a hero too, Professor. I and him will drink coffee about Traore. But he's doing two good things, that he becomes an international icon. A young guy, younger than many of us. Traore has changed the price of uranium. France was buying uranium from Burkina Faso for $1 billion every year. He stopped the French to buy his uranium. Today, Burkina Faso is making 85 billion from the same resource. We are selling uranium here. We have no nuclear power. We are just talking, everything is nuclear. We are just selling. Whether the Chinese are paying us the best price or not, we don't know. We are also afraid. What if they walk out of this deal? But Traore, a young man, a soldier, has changed his country. That's why Traore is now building up factories, processing plants of agro-processing, because he has resources. We have these resources. When we say some of these things must not be said in the open, but let's drink coffee and talk about the future of our country, we don't listen to one another. So, Foreign Minister, may your door be open for further engagement, deeper engagement in the national interest of our country, so that we start running, because we are crawling. We must start running. And this country has an opportunity to penetrate Africa, to penetrate the world, but we must run in and we must talk to one another so that we get the country going.
Yeah, my good people are watching from this is Kenyan Explorer as we are doing it in African way. We are doing this based on the African matters just because we love Africa. I hope that you love Africa. And what impressed me so much is that the people have come to love Africa, even those from foreign countries. We appreciate for this because for a long time, for many years, Africa has been suffering, but no one has been there to defend Africa. We have been dying with our burdens, with our luggages. But we are happy that the world has come to stand with Africa, and that is our pleasure. That is what we want, and that is what we are praying for. Because when this continues, like things goes like this, we are going to win the war, as we are going to hold the agenda of uniting Africa in our hands. So I've just played you those videos of those the white professors as how they were exposing, as how they were telling of the world on who is Ibrahim Traore. If you don't know who is Ibrahim Traore, then you have to do a deep analysis about Ibrahim Traore. You have to look and read the books about Ibrahim Traore, because this is not the guy that most of the people think of. Ibrahim Traore is a different element. He is unpredictable. And that's why you are seeing he is trembling the world. The world leaders are now trembling from one corner to another. They have no peace. They have a sleepless nights because of one guy, the young 37 years old captain of Burkina Faso, the leader and commander-in-chief of Burkina Faso. So I like that speech of that white guy, that young white professor, as he was saying that the white people were trying to use some terms, some policies to come and intervene in Africa. So there is a difference of discovering something and discovering and invading. So when the French and the white people or the white supremacists came and said that they are the one who discovered Africa, no, that is not the fact. That's not the truth. Because what we know is that they invaded Africa. Because when the white people came to Africa, they find Africa built. They find Africa has a great number of population. They find Africa having the kingdoms. They find Africa has roads and has many buildings. Africa was developed at its level of that time. Africa has anything, everything. And that is when, so that's when they come in Africa, trying in the name of coming to bring more development, more wake up, and more all that. From that's when they came and invade Africa. As they came with the aids in the name of helping, they came in the name of building railways, in the name of bringing schools and foreign languages. That is when they came and invaded Africa. So when they claim that they discovered Africa, that is something different. That is a wrong statement. And we are happy that as Africans, that the white folks are coming in the matters of Africa, and what they are coming in to explain is something that the world has to know and to be aware of it, and the world has to believe it, because Africa has been there for a very long time. In Africa, most of the books that we have read concerning Africa and the foundation of the world, we are being told that the Africa was the mother of everything. Africa was the mother, it was the source of life. Africa was the source of humankind. So it means that all the humans that are on the world, they were all started from Africa. They were all originated from Africa. And that is when the Africa, when God created Africa and created the world, he started with Africa. And that's when he put all the resources and everything that man could want in Africa. And that's why you are seeing today, Africa is the one sitting on the top of all the sorts of minerals. The world, I've seen some few years ago, the people are saying that 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 Africa cannot survive without Europe. But the fact is that the Europe, Asia, and all that countries that has developed, they have developed just because of Africa. They have developed because they are using that they're taking from Africa. They have been taking, looting, and manipulating all those things from Africa. So that exactly means that those countries cannot survive without Africa. And that's why today you are seeing, even if African leaders and African citizens arise and say that they want to depend on themselves, they no longer want to associate with the foreign powers. They no longer want to associate or to associate with those people are not ready to leave Africa, because they know that when they leave Africa, even a seconds, everything in their countries that are going to collapse. Everything that they are manufacturing come to build to sell out to Africa, so that it can for what they are using to boost their economies, to build their countries, to build their best infrastructures in their countries. They are going to collapse, because they cannot do that without the resources and the minerals and all riches they are getting from Africa. So when this guy stood up and said that no matter what comes in, no matter anyone say about him, on his way, he's not going to let anything to happen. He's not going to retreat. He's not going to surrender. He's going to fight until he succeeds his mission. This is a captain. This was a captain of a Burkina Faso military. So this is a soldier. He is not a politician. He is a soldier. So, as you know, the soldiers has the missions, and the mission of a soldier, the priority of a soldier is to complete his mission. When he failed to accomplish his mission, then he cannot have peace. And that's why you are seeing Ibrahim Traore, even after all that assassination attempt, all that critics, all that being target of every white man eyes, he has not yet surrendered. And he is putting more pressure, and that's why you see even the citizens of Burkina Faso are celebrating each and every day. Just take a look at this video and tell me, how can it be possible for such person to be taken away? How can it be possible for someone like this? Just take a look on how he's being guarded, not by the high trained military or those soldiers, but just the protection of his citizens is enough. He's just traveling using the double cabin Nissan. He don't care about the riches. He's not there for the mission of enriching himself. He's not there just to show off his wealth. He's not there to do things that all the African leaders are doing, but he's just there for the one mission. So, and that's why you are seeing many debates, many interviews are being held just to discuss about Ibrahim Traore. When we talk about revolutionary leaders, we have to speak about Ibrahim Traore and Julius Malema of South Africa, because these are the two leaders. These are the two African icons who have been making the white supremacists not to have peace. If you have watched out the interview of George Galloway, a lawyer, then you know what I mean. Because that video got many reactions. Many people, a large number of people turned on that interview, and you have to watch out and find out what I am talking about. That is, you see, even America, they are holding the meetings, even in the Senate. As you've seen that video the other day, when the Senate held a meeting with Michael Langley General, the Foster General, just to discuss about Ibrahim Traore. And he was accusing Ibrahim Traore of using the resources of Burkina Faso to protect himself, to protect. Why does he have to use the minerals and the resources to protect himself? He is using the resources of his country to build up his country. He is using the resources of his country to develop his country, to benefit and improve the life of his citizens. And even if he's using it was true that he's using the resources to protect himself, then where is the problem? Because that is the resources of Burkina Faso, and no any intruder is allowed to come and discuss with anything with it, because they have no business with it. He is a leader of Burkina Faso, and he has the right to do anything. He has the right to do anything with his resources because it is his property. He is the leader of Burkina Faso, and he has the right to control his country using his resources. So let us not let the people stop talking about the Burkina Faso's resources. Just go to the point. If you want to do business with Burkina Faso and all the African countries that has minerals, come and talk business. Don't come to insult or to all those you are doing. That is not good, and we are not going to allow this. So we are proud of Ibrahim Traore, because if the world has proved that this is the guy, if the world has proved that this is the leader, when you talk up today, when you talk about leadership today, you have to start with the Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traore before you talk with anyone else. Before you talk about your leader or your president of your country and whatever he's doing, you have to start talking of Ibrahim Traore and then follow up with your leader. When African leaders turn up their heads, when African leaders will change up the direction they are going to and start to follow the way and the path of Ibrahim Traore and Julius Malema, then we are going to make the best Africa. At this point, I don't know why the African leaders are colliding. At this point, this is the time the African leaders would have come together and start doing things that can save them, and that can make them free from the chains of the colonizers. I'm giving example of South Africa. South Africa, Ramaphosa and Julius Malema. Ramaphosa is the president of South Africa, and Julius Malema is the opposition leader. But Julius Malema has the highest population that he's controlling in South Africa. Millions of people are listening to the voice of Julius Malema in South Africa, because he is trying his best just to defend South Africa from the foreign forces that is trying to overtake and dominate the territory of South Africa. But now, the president of South Africa, Ramaphosa himself, he is against Julius Malema and whatever he's doing. And that's why you have seen he was invited in America to in State House. And after he went to that visit, he was just intimidated. He was just in front of the media, which is not right. So it's not a matter of who is governing and who is opposing. But once we have to talk the same matter, we have to do it, because we are focusing on the matter of saving Africa and the Africans. When we can do this as African leaders, then Africa will be a place of respect. Africa will not be taken as just it is being taken of today, but it will be taken as the serious continent and the continent of respect and honor. We are doing this because we love Africa. This is Kenyan Explorer. If you have not follow up who is Traore, then you have to do it. Turn on notification button, subscribe, so that you get notified for all updates that are coming out as we are doing it in African way. We are doing this because we love Africa. This is Kenyan Explorer. Stay tuned. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching this video. I have a lot of video that I did. If you are so interested, you can go back, watch out, and tell me what you have. Give out your opinion. We have to talk about this because we are doing this because we need best Africa, and we have to make Africa the best place, as our first we have to put Africa as our first priority, and just like the freedom fighters, our freedom fighters wanted to be, that is what we are trying to do. That's what we are trying to advocate. Stay tuned and peace out.